Rachel, and I'm back with another dirndl idea. Most of our dirndls have lacing or trims and pretty buttons and hooks, and we have our necklaces and pretty things in the front and a beautiful apron, but the back doesn't have too much detail. But this dress has a peplum. It adds a cute little detail to the back of your dress. It usually starts out as a fold of fabric that's kind of long, and you pleat it until it's about the size of the back of your dress, and you sew it into the seam. Now you also could add it to the bottom of a vest and wear the vest over an apron or over a skirt, and then it kind of gives you a place to attach your apron here. I put my apron so that it goes right above the peplum. I've made a lot of them for all these costumes, and I think they add a real nice touch to the back of your dress. So stay with me if you want to learn how to make a peplum. I made my pattern where there was a straight line, and it was 28 inches long, and the beginning of the fabric was 4 inches wide right at the center. And I just made kind of a taper to where it tapered down to the edge. It went down to where it was about 1 inch wide. And I did that same thing on each side. I decided to make each of my pleats 3/4 of an inch wide. That's where the red is. That's the part that's going to be showing on the top. And then this part between the red pleats is about, well, not just about, it's 1.5 inches. So it's 1.5 inches between. So I started in the center and I did 3/4 inch for my first one, 1.5 inches here, 1.5 inches there, and went out and kind of just drew my pleats on there. It's going to have 5 pleats on each side and 1 more pleat in the center. I made mine very symmetrical. When you cut the fabric out, because it's on the fold, it makes one shape that's kind of a crescent shape. Then you cut interfacing. This is my interfacing. I cut the interfacing a little more narrow without the seam allowance on it. I put my interfacing into 1/2 of the peplum, and as you can see, the seam allowance is left on the outer edge. This is iron-on interfacing, so I ironed it on, and then I folded the peplum over it, and I stitched the peplum together. After I had that, I serged the raw curved edge. This is the point where I'm at right now with you. I've got all my pleats marked with pins. This is my center pleat here. And so this is the peplum, and this is what the center pleat right here. Like. That red is the part that's going to show. That means on this pleat that I'll fold these parts underneath this pleat. So I'll just take it about at the halfway mark. And where the pin is, I'll bring it about halfway between it and the next pleat, and I'll put a pin there. Then I'll take this place where I folded it and move this pin, which is to the right, over on top of that pin. And I've just created the first pleat. Okay, it's quite simple, and I'm really pretty much just eyeballing it, so I know that right here between these 2 pins, that is going to go, my next pin here will go right on top of the center. It takes a little time, and it takes precise pinning to make sure that all your pleats come out just the way you want them. And then this beginning of the next pleat, I just tuck it underneath. It's quite a simple process. Okay, so I've got this is the center pleat, and I've got 1, 2 more done. Again, I'll just bring this over to the middle, and I kind of pinch the whole thing and make it stay where I want it to go. And then do the same thing with this one, just tuck it underneath. And then this is what it ended up looking like after I pleated it. This is the part that the fold is this bottom part, and this is the part where I pleated it. After I pleated it, you can see it kind of looks like a little happy face there. This is the middle, and when you're putting it onto your dress, you want to make sure that you line this up right in the middle of the back of the vest or the skirt. Now that you know how easy it is to make a peplum, you should add one to your next dress and make the back of your dress as beautiful as the front.